This is Candid Campus, Profiles in Higher Education. Presented jointly by the Higher Education Alumni Council of Oklahoma and the Oklahoma College Public Relations Association. The discussion today is economic linkages through higher education. Your host is Gwen Faulkner, media specialist.
Hello and welcome once again to Candid Campus. I'm Gwen Faulkner, this week's moderator, and today we're in Okmulgee, Oklahoma, at Oklahoma State University's technical branch. We're going to be talking about the economic linkages through higher education, and I'm joined here with the director of the technical branch of Oklahoma State University in Okmulgee, Dr. Robert Klabenes. Thank you for having us here today. We're talking about economic linkages. We're going to be talking about advancing technology, but tell us first about this institution in Okmulgee, Oklahoma.
Well, this institution is a branch campus of Oklahoma State University. It's an associate degree granting institution. That's the highest degree that we offer.
So we're talking about a two-year college?
No, not really a two-year college, in that our associate degree, we are authorized by the state regents for higher education to offer 90 semester hours, and the typical associate degree will usually culminate in somewhere between 60 and 66 hours. And so our associate degree is longer, and it's more appropriate for our type of education in that we focus in technical education in the advancing technology area. And preparation for that simply takes longer than many of the traditional and historical two-year associate degrees.
Where is Okmulgee, and how is it that the institute is located here?
Well, Okmulgee is in east central Oklahoma. It's on U.S. Highway 75, about 30 miles south of Tulsa. The institution came to be here because during World War II, from 1944, when construction started on this campus, this was an Army hospital, and it was used as an Army hospital from 1944 through 1946. And then it was declared surplus by the United States government, and President Bennett saw it as an opportunity to develop a branch campus that would focus on technical education for the returning veterans. And so at that time, President Bennett came over here and just literally established this institution as a branch of Oklahoma State University.
We're sitting today in the Noble Center for Advancing Technology. Yes. What do we do in this building, this beautiful facility?
Well, this is a very exciting facility. First, I want to say that it was made possible because of the Noble Foundation of Ardmore, and they provided the university and the state a challenge grant of $1 million to construct the Noble Center for Advancing Technology. Now, the Noble Foundation really had a significant vision 3 or 4 years ago when they provided the challenge, in that they saw that the computer, the microcomputer, the microprocessor, electronics were having a significant impact on business and industry. And so what they wanted was a facility that responded to some of that change that's taking place. But then the other thing they said, a part of this facility must be devoted to developing special ties or special linkages with business and industry. So a part of that is set aside for that purpose, and that has been very exciting, and I think reflects real vision on the part of a private foundation to say that there needs to be some changes in some parts of higher education, specifically technical education.
That is an impressive link for higher education and industry, and certainly Oklahoma needs it right now. How has this affected students, the potential student that comes here? I understand that you attract students from every county in the state.
Yes, we're very pleased with that, in that OSU Tech Okmulgee has a statewide mission. And that mission is to focus technical education, and we're a residential campus, so we have places for students to stay. And on an annual basis, we get students from every county in the state of Oklahoma, and then, of course, in many of the surrounding states, and we have a number of international students also.
How has this affected the city of Okmulgee?
This institution? Well, Of course, if you just look at it from an economic perspective, it has a major impact, our payroll and the money that students spend here on the community. But I think the other thing, any institution of higher education in a community, and probably more so in a smaller community, becomes really very much a part of the action that takes place in that community, in that it's just another community asset and one that there's a great deal of cooperation that takes place between the community and the college.
I know we have a person here to speak in behalf of the community. Would you do the honors of introducing him to us, please?
Yes, I would really be happy to, because Jerry Johnson is one of the outstanding leaders in Okmulgee. He is the administrator of the Okmulgee Memorial Hospital, and this year Jerry is serving as the president of the Okmulgee Chamber of Commerce. Mr. Jerry Johnson.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you for taking out your time from this busy day. Jerry, we're talking about economic linkages. How do you view that, since you're our representative from the city of Okmulgee?
Okay, well, obviously, Oklahoma State Tech out here is very impressive for the entire community. They pump a great deal of money into the economy here. They provide a great deal of leadership in our community. And it's always nice to have a college like this in the community. It dramatically impacts us citywide. I'm very pleased to have them here.
Are there any specific examples that you can think of where you've started a new program and it's impacted on the city immediately?
Well, I can tell you how we have been the beneficiaries of the programs. Obviously, with the computer age on us, not all of us have kept up with the computers, and we met with the computer people out here and asked them to design a program for our department heads at the hospital. And they designed a program and made a special time for us so that we could have all of our department heads go through the computer program. And it's not just us that they've done that for, it's been other people. So we're very pleased with that cooperation.
There are many examples how the institution has benefited the community and the community has benefited the institution. Obviously, we're not going to have time to see all the wonderful programs you have here, Bob, but can you tell us what you would like for us to see today while we're here on campus?
Well, yeah, the thing that I would like for us to really take a look at today is the role that we are playing in a more formalized role that we're playing in economic development. And we have created here the first phase of what we want in the long term to be a small business assistance center. And the first phase of that has been the development of an incubator. And incubator terminology is coming into vogue like economic development is right now in terms of being a buzzword, but maybe not everyone knows what an incubator is, but it's a process of taking a fledgling industry or startup industry and helping it develop and providing some resources for it to get it underway so that it can move out into the community. So that's really what I'd like to have us focus on today is the incubator, and the people that we're going to be visiting with is Mr. Paul Abbott, who is a local entrepreneur, been a very successful businessman with an international company here, and he is spinning off and establishing another company, and this company is knowing at Advantage, and Mr. Pat Martin is the vice president and operating the incubator. And then also coordinating this entire effort from the institution side, from our side, is Dr. Ed Darby, who is coordinator of our what we call external education linkages program.
But we're also going to get to see some advancing technology, aren't we?
Yes, particularly since we're in the Noble Center for Advancing Technology, I would like to take just a few minutes and take a look at some of the things that we're doing in information processing, in CAD/CAM, in microprocessor-based types of industry that is taking place, and which fits with the new age society and the new age economy that's emerging, and Oklahoma is really getting ready for that. And I think that the next few years are going to be very exciting times in Oklahoma as we move into an economy that's no longer based on agriculture and but based on different manufacturing and information processing and services.
Well, we're very excited to be here and to be able to take Oklahomans with us across the campus. So thank you. Mr. Johnson, thank you very much for joining us.
It's nice to be here.
Today on Candid Campus, we're at Okmulgee, Oklahoma, at Oklahoma State University Technical Branch. Join us as we tour the campus, won't you? We are still in the Noble Center for Advancing Technology, but our first stop right now is to talk about incubators. Joining me now is Paul Abbott, who is the president of Covington Aircraft. And Paul, I understand you are responsible for one of the major incubators.
Yes, we have started an incubator on OSU Technical Branch campus here. It's helped us to where we haven't had the high startup costs of going out and purchasing a building. And this is important to us, especially the first year of any business. That's the most difficult time for a business to get going and to show a profit.
Perhaps our people at home are looking around for chickens and eggs, because that's what we think of when we think of incubators, and I don't see any of those things. Tell us about this project.
Well, the campus has provided us with an environment, a building where we can put our equipment in and start up the business, and that's really what an incubator is. We're able to work out of the campus building here.
And as far as this particular business, Pat, we ought to get you involved. This is Pat Martin, and he's the head of Advent Edge, which is a water jet project. And that's the equipment we're seeing. Tell us about that.
Okay, the equipment is actually divided into two sections. It's the high-pressure water delivery system and the XY computer-controlled drive system. And the two pieces of equipment together makes up the water jet system. Water jet actually gets its name from the fact that we pressurize the water up to 60,000 pounds per square inch. And then by the time it exits the cutting nozzle, it's at supersonic speed, so thus we get the name water jet.
So you all are actually partners in this. The benefit to you is?
Well, I was looking for a new business to start up. I was wanting to branch out and get into something besides the aircraft engine. I was looking for something in the new high technology type business. And the Chamber of Commerce contacted me. Pat had given them a proposal, and they set us some meetings up between us. We were able to put this thing together from there.
Pat, what's the benefit to you? I know you're a graduate of OSU Tech right here. How did you get involved, and how are you benefiting as far as the institution?
As Paul said before, it allows us the facilities to initiate our business. So the benefits to us is that it allows me to set up a business and at a reduced cost.
And what are you doing with students? Why is this on a college campus?
Part of our agreement with the school is to be able to show the students in the various programs that's associated with WaterJet how some of these different components apply to the programs of study that's on campus.
So you're teaching students to step into the age of technology and actually be able to do this when they're through?
Sure. One of the goals for the incubator project was to install a high-tech type of business, which is in most cases computer controlled. So this system is computer controlled. It is high-tech. So it allows the students to actually see some of the high-tech application at work.
How many operations like this, a water jet operation, are there in the state of Oklahoma, Paul?
There are not any other water jet contract cutting businesses in the state of Oklahoma. Some of the larger businesses, such as Rockwell, they may own their own equipment, but they do not do outside work.
So I bet you're expecting great things from this project.
Well, we hope so. We hope it'll continue to build and grow to where we can hire part-time students and also hire full-time students or graduates and give them jobs once they get out of school.
Pat, tell me what you hope the project will accomplish. You'll train students, but then what happens?
Well, we hope that once we leave the campus and establish our own business, that we'll be able to provide jobs for the community. We're hoping that 2 or 3 years down the road, we'll be able to hire, say, 20 people. So it actually will provide jobs to the local community.
Now, formerly, you were an instructor here in another area entirely, correct?
Yes.
How did you make the transition to water jet cutting?
Well, actually, the program that I was in was electronics, and it does tie in directly with the equipment. the drive system that we have is actually a 2-axis robot. And the course that I was the instructor for in electronics was industrial robotics.
So what will you do with this? I mean, what are the functions of the water jet?
Mainly is the functions are to cut materials, and we're open to cutting all types of materials on a contract basis. It cuts everything from foam rubber up to the hardest metals.
So what does that mean for business and industry?
It means that with the versatility of the equipment, we have the ability to go out and penetrate almost any market, from glass to metals to aerospace.
So when you say cut, you're cutting stained glass, you're cutting airplane wings, is that right?
Well, it may be some materials that are used in aircraft wings or other parts of the aircraft.
What are some of the other futures? What do you hope it will be doing in the next few years?
Well, we hope it will continue to expand and grow, where we can do contract work for a lot of the larger companies, for the military, some of the military contracts. And our main goal is to be able to provide a lot of jobs in the community.
What future do you see for the cutting itself?
Oh, I see a great future for it. It's a new technology, and as especially the new composite materials are developed, this is the ideal and most feasible way to cut the new composite materials that's being developed.
So whatever needs to be cut, you can do it, and with precision, isn't that correct?
Yes, we can hold tolerances within thousands.
Is this a totally new idea, or has this been around a while?
Water jet cutting as such is not a new idea. It's been around about 10 years, mostly used in the frozen food industry, the leather good industry, disposable diaper industry. But the abrasive water jet cutting is fairly new, about 3 years old, and that allows us to be able to cut heavier materials, more dense materials.
And earlier you made reference to the fact that you hope to be moving from the campus. Is that your operation or your students that have graduated, or what is the agreement on that?
Well, that's both. We signed an agreement with OSU for a 12-month period. After 12 months, we will move out to our own building, establish a business somewhere else in the city, and also hopefully we will take students that we've trained and has worked on a part-time basis with us as full-time employees.
So will this institution no longer offer this technology?
No, they will offer the technology, and they will also open this facility up to another small business to come in and on the ground floor and start again.
So we have kind of defined an incubator now, haven't we?
Right, that's the purpose of the incubator, to help, say, us get started, then hopefully we'll be on our own in 1 year, then bring in another new business. That way the school here can help new business get started and provide jobs for the students.
I'm very impressed. I'm sure it will work out well. Best of luck to you, and thank you both. Paul Abbott and Pat Martin with WaterJet, and I think it's part of the economical linkage that we'll see throughout the program. Each week on Candid Campus, though, we take you across the state of Oklahoma to see other institutions of higher education. So let's pause right now and take a look.
For more than 50 years, Carl Albert Junior College has provided higher education in eastern Oklahoma. CAJC gives students the advantages of a low-cost education close to home, a variety of specialized and general education programs, and individual attention from quality instructors. The college's Environmental and Industrial Technology Division offers classes in electronics, heating and air conditioning, construction management, hotel and restaurant management, agriculture business, and auto service management. An associate degree nursing program prepares students to take the registered nurse examination upon graduation. Computer science classes are some of the most popular at CAJC. Students learn programming and word processing skills. Journalism students are offered modern newspaper technology through a specialized word processing program. The college's J.A. Leone Library contains more than 16,000 volumes and almost 12,000 pieces of audio-visual software. LaFleur County community leaders are proud of CAJC and the way it has grown physically from a muddy pasture to an attractive arrangement of modern buildings, walks, trees, shrubs, gazebos, and benches. Leaders also have watched the college's enrollment grow from 600 students to more than 2,200 since it joined the state system of higher education in 1972. CAJC was a commuter campus until 1985, when the Bill J. Barber Scholar Center opened as a 40-student dormitory for academically gifted students. Financed and constructed entirely by individual contributions to the CAJC Development Foundation, the Scholar Center is a prime example of support given CAJC by community leaders. A 500-seat auditorium allows the college to be host for many cultural events and educational seminars for the area. Carl Albert Junior College is accredited by the National Association of Colleges and Schools through 1992. For more information about education opportunities at Carl Albert Junior College, write the college at Box 606, Poto 74953, or call 918-647-8660.
Hello and welcome back to Candid Campus. I'm Gwen Faulkner, today's moderator, and today we're on the campus of Oklahoma State University Technical Branch in Okmulgee, Oklahoma. I'm standing here with the Associate Director, Dr. Ed Darby, and we're actually in the Noble Center for Advancing Technology. We've been talking about the economical linkages through higher education today, and I understand you're the person we need to talk to about the EEL, or the other linkages of this campus to the business community. Can you explain that to us, Dr. Darby?
Appreciate the opportunity, Gwen. Our EEL, as we call it, is an acronym for External Educational Linkages. It's an outreach program, and more particularly, it provides us the opportunity to provide job-intensive training for the needs of business and industry, government, education, labor, and other constituents.
We've been learning about incubators, and we clarified that it is not a chicken and an egg thing, but it has to do with economic development. What can you tell us about incubators so that we'll better understand the concept and what it's doing for Oklahoma?
Okay, fine. Let me comment on OSU Tech's definition and style of incubator. As you've indicated, you've visited and had the opportunity to see the water jet abrasive cutting facility. This one is our first one, and we think it very ideally fits our mold. It is an emerging technology, and that was one of our first criteria, that our faculty and our students would benefit from this kind of a technical atmosphere that would be happening on our campus.
And so that's one example of an incubator. There are others to come through your hard work, I understand.
Well, we hope so. Again, this is our first one, and we would aspire that in the months and years ahead that we might have 2 or 3 of these kind of incubators. And again, our definition is that we hope to provide the environment here so that a new industry, and particularly one in technology, could get the startup experience and then shortly thereafter move out into our community, employ people, bring in additional revenues from customers and vendors from outside the state.
We keep talking about the EEL as well. I want you to tell us of some of the exciting things that are happening through these external educational linkages.
Okay, and I think they are exciting, Gwen. Point in case, just last week, we graduated the 23rd group of Amico technicians in a course that involves microprocessor applications and digital logic. That one's really international. We had 3 of the students were here from Trinidad, 2 students from Canada, other students from out the North American continent. We would have served now over 300 of these pipeline oil production technicians. That's just one example. Other examples are we recently had a Door and Hardware Institute that served our people in the public schools and the hospitals and the county and city governments on the maintenance and care of the door system in their facility.
I understand the Oklahoma Army National Guard has been here?
Yeah, the Guard is here. We're well protected. They have been with us since January. They'll complete their series in March. And we will have trained 52 of the 54 full-time members of the 120th Engineering Battalion in Oklahoma on small computers.
And you have other linkages with Toyota and many other things. How do people find out about you here in Okmulgee, Oklahoma?
Well, we'd like to think that 40 years of tradition and over 25,000 graduates goes a long ways in getting our credibility out. But sometimes it is, especially I think, through the satisfied users, the sponsors that have come here, and we hope have had a quality experience. And in turn, they pass the word on, and success begets success.
How many do you suppose will come through here, say, in 1 year's time?
Well, that would be a little speculative on my part, but I would say that reasonably we would serve 300 up to 500 or 600 people in these various areas, and we're just getting started.
I'm impressed, and I thank you so much for your time. We've got to go, but I appreciate it. I promised the president or the director that I would go back to see him. So
well, thank you.
Let's go back and see the director of the Oklahoma State University Institute at Okmulgee. We're here in the Noble Center for Advancing Technology, and I'm joined once again by the director of the Oklahoma State University Technical Institute in Okmulgee. Dr. Klabenes, it's been a wonderful day. I was so fascinated by the water jet and the programs. I'm sure you're very proud.
Yes, we are. We're pleased to have you here today.
Let's look into the future of this institution. We've talked about visions, we've talked about economic development. Where do you see the institution going in the next 5 or 10 years?
Well, that's a good question and an interesting one. I see us focusing sharper and sharper in terms of our mission on advancing technologies. And what I mean by that are those that are computer-based and microprocessor electronics-driven, because the workforce, the nature of work in the state is changing, and the heavy industry and agriculture and energy is changing, and it's moving more to a service-based economy and an information processing economy. And this institution needs to respond to those changes and provide the types of technicians that the new age economy needs.
Does this include a growth in student numbers as well as facilities?
It may include some growth in student numbers, but the pool available just is not what it was. So I'll be very pleased if we stay pretty much the same. It does mean some significant changes in facilities. Hopefully some new facilities, the addition of Phase 2 of the Noble Center for Advancing Technology, but also some renovation of existing facilities to respond to changing technological needs.
So the next time we come back to this campus, what can we look forward to seeing?
Well, hopefully you would see an expansion example of the work that we're doing in economic development in terms of a comprehensive small business assistance center, which might have 2 or 3 incubators ongoing at the same time, and then some ancillary services, but also more computer-intensive, electronics-based, microprocessor-based training, education in the technical areas.
Sounds very exciting, and it sounds like this institute and Okmulgee are leading the state of Oklahoma in the right direction.
Well, we hope that we're contributing to the solution of it anyway.
Thank you very much for your time today. And also I'd like to thank Jerry Johnson, who is president of the Okmulgee Chamber of Commerce, and all the faculty and staff and students that have helped us today. Today we have been at Okmulgee, Oklahoma at the Oklahoma State University Technical Branch. I hope you've enjoyed Candid Campus. I've enjoyed being here. Thank you for joining us. Please join us again.
Candid Campus is presented under joint sponsorship by the Higher Education Alumni Council of Oklahoma and the Oklahoma College Public Relations Association. This is Oklahoma State University Educational Television Services.